Tier 2 solo in Frigates can make you almost as much as T4 in a cruiser. In this video I show you a cheap Retribution that you can use to do Tier 2 Electrical Abyssals. And here's the fit. It's fit with beam lasers, Microwarpdrive, cap recharger, Coreli 8 type repair, Multispectrum coating, EM coating and some heat sinks. In the rigs we have a burst aerator and a thermal coating. In the Damaviks room you burn away from them and kill any newts and scrams first. You want to clear newts as fast as possible because you do not have a cap battery and therefore you also do not have any newt resistance. Once the newts are gone you should be fine to tank the remaining Damaviks. Sometimes there are rogue drones in this room which can do a lot of damage, so be aware of them. Also, should there be Kikimoras, then kite them with Aurora and stay more than 25 kilometers away unless there is only one of them. If there is a Vedmak, kill any anchoring and starving Damaviks and then get a close orbit on the Vedmak with your MWD on. If you are very close orbiting the Vedmak, then it won't be able to hit you so well. But first you have to kill any scrams and webs. Sometimes the Vedmak follows the Damavik like in this example, therefore you can just move around with your MWD off, because when the Vedmak is close it doesn't track you that well. If there is a starving Vedmak, then you shouldn't try to orbit him with the MWD on, because if the MWD and the newt of the starving Vedmak cycles at the exact same moment, then your MWD will turn off and the Vedmak will burn away in a straight line and then you will take a lot of damage. So if there's a starving, then just move around with your MWD off. The starving orbits in multi-frequency range, but for the harrowing, orbit it close. In the Leshaks room, you're just gonna burn straight into them with multi-frequency and kill them as fast as possible before they start repairing each other. Usually there are just 2 Leshaks in Tier 2. Ignore those drone frigates until the Leshaks are gone, because they start with no armor, and if they repair up then it will just increase the time it takes to do this room. For the drone frigates, just kite them until you feel comfortable to brawl the rest. Usually they are around 10 to 15 in Tier 2. Just kill some of them with Aurora, Standard and X-Ray, and once you can tank the rest, go in with multi-frequency where you usually are able to kill them with 2 hits. Against the drone battle cruiser, first kill any snare casters and then keep them at range at 25 kilometers and shoot them with Standard. You do not want to get too close to them, because if they get a wrecking shot they will most likely alpha you, so stay away from them. For the Overmind, first kill any webs and target painters and then get a close orbit on the battleship. It is important to keep your transversal as high as possible, because the Overmind does a lot of damage. And you also want to get rid of any webs and target painters to reduce the damage that the Overmind can do. Against Karen it's basically the same as with the Overmind. Kill any support cruisers first and then get a close orbit on the battleship. You want to pay a special attention to any scrams, webs and newts. Those you want to clear as fast as possible, because if you get scrammed, neuted out or webbed, then Karen will have an easier time hitting you. So you want to avoid getting scrammed, webbed or neuted at all costs against Karen. And against sleeper and drifter cruisers, If there are any sentinels, you want to kite them with standard or aurora, because the further away you are from them, the less neuting power they will apply. But otherwise, you can mostly just burn into them and kill them. If there are 3 watchmen, then you might have to kite away at the beginning, because they do a lot of damage and can really test your tank. For the Ephialtes, you first kite out any newts, which are the dissipators and drift or null charge cruisers. Once they are gone, then you can just brawl the rest, because they do not do that much of damage and they die very quickly. First kite newts and then brawl the rest. The double Marshal room is probably one of the hardest rooms for this ship. There you first want to kill the drainers to remove newt pressure, and then whatever other Marshal is left. Sometimes you get 1 Marshal and some frigs and cruisers. In that case you want to burn away towards the edge of the room, because Marshals have a range of 70 kilometers, and if you are further away from them, then they won't apply any damage, and then you can easily just kill the frigates without having to worry too much about the Marshal DPS. Sansha is an even harder room. There you first have to kite the frigates at Aurora range and then try to orbit the knight at 15 kilometers and shoot it with X-ray. You can tank some frigates fine, but if there are newts, then you have to pull range. And actually kiting can also become difficult if there are any heralds or lookouts, because they reduce your target range and your turret range. Like in this case there were some lookouts that used sensor dampers. In that case you just have to orbit directly the knight at 15 and then kill any frigates first before going to the knight. Like in this case I can tank that 1 hunter fine after the E-War is gone, and you orbit the knight at 15 kilometers, because the orbit pattern also makes it so that your Retribution orbits a little bit further. Like now we are around 20 kilometers, which is perfectly fine to shoot with X-ray, and therefore you can just avoid getting neuted or webbed by the knight at all. In the Angel room, should there be Cinnaballs, pull range from them and kill any annoying frigates first. If there are non-elite Cinnaballs, of which you can get up to 3 in some cases, turn your MWD off and try to move against their orbit with your MWD off and kill them as fast as possible. You do not want to run your MWD if the Cinnaballs are close, because that increases your signature radius and makes it easier for them to apply damage. If there are just Ixians, like in this case, you can just brawl them down with multi-frequency, as they do not do a lot of damage. And that's it for this guide. Thank you for watching. I hope that you find it useful. If you like it, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you buy on Market Dragon or Eve Store, use code Gustav or Market Dragon, you get a 3% discount.